You're always kind of trying to replace you, right? At some point in time, you're moving on. If that happens, it's nice to know that nothing really changes.
The most important thing is putting something together that's pretty special for that next generation.
Yeah.
That, to me, defines success.
Welcome to Decision Points. I'm Scott Wood, and I'm here today with Jeff Thompson and Michael Trueman.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Jeff and Michael are co-founders of Camelback Equity Partners.
That's correct.
What is Camelback Equity Partners?
Camelback Equity Partners is a combination of many, many years of friends getting together finally. The stars aligned, and we're using our experience as developers to come together as one, as a team. So there's 5 of us that form the company.
Awesome.
And we each bring a different set of skills, but more importantly, we're all good friends.
That's great.
Yeah, the relationship's important, as you know, in business.
Yeah.
And we've done business cross paths. We've touched a variety of aspects of real estate, and like I said, like he said, we're bringing it all together and making a run at it.
So development primarily?
Development, acquisition, condos, retail.
Okay.
Multifamily.
Great.
Fairly entrepreneurial in nature. You have all of us have, kind of, we're deal junkies, and we want to get out there and look at everything. We want a reason to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, we've
or we don't want a reason to say no.
Yeah, we're all seasoned guys too,
Yeah.
so it's kind of nice. It's the learning curve, the drama. We've been through a couple of cycles.
Yeah.
We all know how to act, and we know what's coming out the backside. So, main goal is to have some fun and do it with the right people that we attached ourselves to. So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, all right, we're going to come back to Camelback Partners in a minute, but before we go there, tell me, are you guys from Arizona originally, or?
So I'm an Ohio boy. Grew up Midwest. Born in Cleveland. Raised down in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
I think there's a school down there you guys may recognize.
Yeah.
It begins with
the Ohio State University.
We're supposed to do that. Oh, wait.
We have to do that.
Yeah. It's not the only state school, though, right?
No.
I don't know.
It's the only important.
That's the only important one. Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
I saw the sticker on the back of your cell phone.
That's
That's yours.
That's mine.
So you both went there.
Yes.
Okay.
I grew up. I was also born and raised in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't know each other. No relation that we're aware of. But went to Columbus. Raised pretty just typical Midwest. Kind of middle class and good parents, good family. And I went to college at Miami University for about 3.5 years, and then took a little sabbatical and finished up at Ohio State.
Okay.
So I spread my knowledge over a couple of institutions.
Okay.
And,
Was there something that triggered the break in between?
I played football there.
Okay.
And I didn't think it was possible, but there was actually a coach there that took the fun out of football.
Oh yeah.
So it was time for me to move on.
Okay.
That was about it. No real, seemed like a good thing to do at the time. And saw a little bit of the country. Actually went out to the West Coast and Colorado, California, a few others, and got back, finished up my education.
Did you play football your last year when you went back to Ohio State?
No,
you were done
I
after
was,
the 3 years.
I was a full-time student,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, guy took the fun out of it. Really didn't think it was possible, but it happens.
Well, you look like you could go play tomorrow. So
No. Play cards maybe, or checkers maybe, but no.
All right. So how did you guys ultimately meet?
So after I graduated from school, I moved back to Cleveland for a short period of time, and then made my way out to Arizona in, 94. And then Mike and I kind of ran across each other's paths early 2000s. Mm-hmm. And in fact, Mike and I were going to be working together at one of my prior companies, and unfortunately the day before the interview, our partner passed away. Mm. So Mike ended up going to work at PB Bell, and we just stayed friends from that point on. So
when I went to that company, we a small family-run operation. Mm-hmm. Been in business like 25 years, 30 years at the time, and we were growing, and we needed a CFO. We needed somebody really kind of take us to that next level. And Jeff and I have always stayed in communication. He happened to be out on the West Coast in Oregon. And so we brought him back, became a CFO of that company. So we worked together for 8 or 9 years, and kind of parted ways again, and then kind of back where we are today.
Okay.
Always stayed in touch.
So how you went to Arizona right after school,
I did.
pretty much. So you graduated from Ohio State, and you were like, "It's cold here," and
Yeah, you don't have to shovel sunshine.
yeah. And so you went straight to Phoenix.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
And what was it? Was there an initial job there in Phoenix that got you there?
No,
or-
it's actually an interesting story. So my father lived in Laguna Beach,
Okay.
and my friend and I, it was I'll never forget it. It was an Halloween night, and we had gone out to the Flats in Cleveland, which is like a kind of a hip happening place, and we ended up at this old bar, and I just looked across the bar and I said, I'm done. I'm moving.
Did you look across the bar and go, "She ain't here"?
Pretty much, yeah.
Or she's here
Or
again.
she's here, but I'm
She's
leaving now.
still here, yeah.
So yeah, he goes, well, when are we moving?
This is your buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's move on tax day.
Yeah.
So April 15th, we pulled out of the driveway and that made our way out.
Never
we were
looked
on our way
back.
out to California,
Okay.
and our truck broke down, the U-Haul, and they didn't have this pre-cell phones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we just pulled into this place in Motel 6, legitimately in Arizona. And
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're like, we're here. So that's how it all happened.
Yeah. So
And then 2 weeks later, I met who became my future wife.
so this was it. You broke down in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just where you stopped.
That's where we stopped.
Interesting. Okay. And then how'd you meet your wife?
At the DMV of all places. My friend, he needed to get license plate for
Sure.
a car that he just got, and she comes pulling in and with this red convertible, top down, listening to some really heavy metal music, and I love metal music. And next thing you know, we're having a conversation, and 4 years later, we're married.
I love it.
I thought she was working there. That's what she was gonna tell me.
I love it. And then, Mike, how did you? So, what was your first job out of school? And
So mine's a little more of a convoluted path than that, but so I grew up in a family business. My dad and my uncle were in a motel business, and so summers worked there, variety of stuff. Went through their training program, but I always wanted to be in the real estate business. So first job out of school was actually a land broker,
okay,
and this was late '80s, I guess, and not a great time to be a land broker. If I didn't have any handouts, I'd have probably starved to death. But went to that, and I worked for a couple corporations in the real estate group. So a couple big corporations, all growth, all pattern. One was a retail group. We opened a store every third day. So
can you say who that was?
Safe Light Auto Glass.
Okay, yeah.
And great job, great learning. I was all over the country. I was kind of didn't have a region. I was just kind of going where they needed help. But think about that, 100 stores a year.
Wow.
Not sustainable, but they did it for 2 years, almost 3 years.
Wow.
And then they realized they're cannibalizing and it was wrong direction and all these things. So anyways, I went from that company to another one, big company, Grass Seed, Scott's Lawn and Garden. Most people know them today by Miracle Grow. I
Right.
think somehow they merged or were bought. And I was doing their real estate work for them. So I was permitting and building some plants, got in the recycling business. That company went public, broke off on my own with my boss at the time. We started a recycling business, which took me out to California. So I was recycling organic material, but it's tough. Try to permit anything in California, let alone something that has waste involved in it or garbage involved in it. And even though it was recycling, it was frowned upon, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of things happened. Enjoyed our time out there, pre-kids. Ended up going back. They changed the laws in California, as they sometimes do, and hurt our business a little bit. And then I partnered up with my cousin, and we started building apartments
Okay.
in Phoenix.
Okay.
He owned a management company, and they also owned a couple apartments at that time. Bought some older ones, so we were going to build everything 10 years or newer, and just keep that going. And that was the plan. That's what got me out there. I was a week out of every month for like 7 years. And then there were some issues, personal issues, family issues on his side, and we kind of parted ways. Liked Phoenix, just started looking to do my own deals, and ended up with a pretty large apartment builder and was their local partner there.
Okay.
So that was 05 I moved out there. So from 88 to 05 I was back and forth.
Moving around.
And great learning curve though. I mean, everything I was doing from the retail, permitting, to development stuff. It just, it culminates in what we're doing today. And it's been kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right, so Jeff, let's pick back up with you. You met your wife at the DMV, and then what was your first job there, and how did you end up kind of getting into the real estate business?
We were just actually talking about that earlier. So my wife she was getting ready to go into the nursing program at school. She's 7 years younger than I am. And she worked for a real estate company, a small company. And we bid on 6 pools of RTC assets, and we won all 6. And it was like one of those, yes, oh no, what do we do kind of moments. And so they brought me in. I was green as green could be. I had a finance background, and my first project was 29,000 acres in Estrella Mountain Ranch in Phoenix. And it's funny because his neighbor was my development partner.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just a small little world, and trial by fire. And the good news is, I got to learn what not to do with real estate, because all these bad assets were coming, and you could see how people were making really dumb choices.
Right.
And then, I learned so much. I had to do everything. I had to put the accounting team together, the finance teams together, the development teams together, because I was employee number 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was fun.
And did you stay with that company for a long time?
No, I was with them for probably 4 years.
Okay.
And then I was recruited by what became one of the largest non-traded REITs. That's now a bigger company. I was brought in to kind of run their finance for them, and another great experience. The CFO there was still my mentor, still my friend. And I was there for another 5 years, and then I got recruited to go to a company called Evergreen, who I was there for a while.
Okay.
And that's when Mike and I met.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you guys initially meet? Just working on a deal together, or?
No, names were just
Community
shared.
or-
Yeah, we have a mutual friend, a mortgage banker, if I remember correctly, and I was working for Alliance Residential at the time locally, and this was 2008, 2009, when the fan was being hit. And, so we kind of started talking, and the company he was with, Evergreen at the time, was thinking about getting into the multifamily. And his words, a guy like me would have been perfect there. And again, unfortunately, they lost a friend and a partner there. Selfishly speaking, I didn't go to work for him because the company was there. So the gentleman I was supposed to interview with, as he alluded to, passed. But fast forward, we always kept in touch. Again, he was out on the West Coast, Oregon, working with the company. I went to PB Bell, and again, we needed a CFO there. We needed somebody to get us organized, raise money, make us, allow us to go that next step. And so he came back to Phoenix. That had to be what?
11, 12.
2011. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
12.
Yeah, 11 or 12.
It gets a little fuzzy sometimes.
That's all right. Yeah. So Camelback is relatively new.
It is. It's very new.
So you guys started that in.
I formed the company in 2024, February of 2024.
Okay. Yeah. So really new.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about your other 3 partners. And then, like, as you're talking about the 3 partners, like, what is their unique contribution to the partnership?
Okay.
And then you highlight your unique contribution as well.
Sure. And might jump in if I lie or stretch to the truth, as you do. No. So Dave Moore is a good friend of mine. I worked with him up in Oregon from like 10 through 12 or something like that. And we've just stayed in really close touch over the years. He ended up leaving as well as I did. He went back down to Newport, and he was running the Irvine retail group for the Irvine companies. And, I don't, a couple million square feet.
Yeah.
4 million square feet or so. And, we just stayed in touch over the years. And when this opportunity came up, I picked up the phone, I called him, and I said, "Hey, Dave, would you like to come down to Phoenix?" He's living in Newport Beach.
Right.
That's a tough sell, right?
Right.
Yeah. You got to think about his mindset right now. At 118.
He's not thanking me right now.
Right.
He came and joined us, and he runs our retail program. Mike, and I'll let him speak for himself, but Mike runs our multifamily.
Yeah.
Our other 2 partners are up in Toronto.
Okay.
Elliot and Adrian. Elliot is a good friend. I've known him for about 20 plus years. He's been an investor. He was an investor first, and then became my friend over the years. Adrian works for Elliot as kind of his right-hand man. And Elliot brings in, obviously a vast network of other very wealthy families, family offices. And we've done about $900 million with him.
Okay.
Just at Bell. and
just him.
Yeah.
And so he brings in that unique. He's also a condo developer, retail developer, one of the larger developers up in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian has been with him for 20 years as well. So,
and again, we've all crossed paths in various stages of our careers and various companies. And like I said, we've talked about it probably last 4 years, maybe, about why are we doing this for other people? Right. Why don't we do it for ourselves? And finally, nobody had an excuse. So we formed that.
Yeah.
But I want to make an important distinction. So Elliot and Adrian historically have been equity partners on projects that we've done.
Sure.
Yeah. They are not equity partners. They are true partners of ours. So they own half the company, and then the three of us own the other half. And simple, no drama, no waterfalls, no nothing. It's just let's go do business and go have a little fun.
That's great.
Yeah. We laugh every day.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so, do you guys have a team underneath y'all, or is it?
We're building that team out. We have some consultants. We want to make sure that we're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
We're not just throwing bodies at problems.
Right.
We have a great IT person that I worked with and Mike worked with, who also worked at Bell for 18 years. He's now on his own, but he's doing all of our stuff.
Yeah.
And he'll eventually join us. We've got an office manager / kind of keeps us sane and keeps us on the straight path and narrow.
Yep.
Tough.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand. I can already tell.
We told her that she has to sign an NDA about what we say in the office.
That's
but
right.
No, she's great. And then we've got good CPAs on the Toronto side of the business, which also supports our business. They've got a whole back office.
Gotcha.
So right now we're just kind of leaning on that back office.
So Elliot's got a family office, guessing, and then Adrian works for him.
Yes.
There's infrastructure there that you guys are able to leverage for the time being until you get to such scale that you got to bring it in yourself.
Correct. And we're headed that way pretty quick.
And that's part of my role. I don't want to say the biggest role, but certainly right now it is filling that pipeline. So we're chasing, I don't know, 7 or 8 deals. Yeah. Condos, retail, and apartment sites. Some of those are commingled, mixed use. Others are standalone. And like I said, we do have quite the entrepreneurial spirit, I believe. So there's not a whole lot off the table. I mean, we'd acquire, do value add, definitely looking at some redevelopment sites as well, manufacturing
sites. So it's not all new, ground up.
No.
It's you're going into existing stuff and reworking it.
Yeah, but majority I would say is development.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're not opposed to doing a redevelopment or any kind of a value add like that.
Okay. Yeah. And so for now, is Elliot the primary financing for all the deals, or are you going to raise outside capital? I mean, obviously you can go get debt facilities and whatnot. So there's an equity portion and a debt portion. Is he the equity portion largely, or are you syndicating your equity?
He wants to be.
Yeah.
It's not because it's default.
Yeah.
But we are looking at other avenues, as well to help diversify him as well. So we are talking to other people as well.
Yeah.
And, some of the groups that, in fact, we're going to be up in Toronto in a couple of weeks to talk to several other family offices that have a desire to work with us.
And so who would be the fundraiser of the group? That's you.
That's
okay.
me.
All right. So sounds like
I don't know why they picked the ugliest on the sky to do that job, but
sounds like Elliot and Adrian, though, are they're making introductions and helping with that process too. So,
but again, I want to make sure it's clear they are our partners.
Of course,
they're not just equity, and they're hands on. I mean, it's not like they're silent partners or anything like
That's
that.
great.
And we wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
And I mean that sincerely. They're great. They love working with them. They're great guys.
Great people.
And Jeff made an important point too. We laugh every day.
Yeah.
And that's important to us. I mean, keep our sanity, I guess, number one. But, we a lot of hours, as you know.
Of course. All right. So give me an example. You said you're chasing 7 or 8 things right now. Give me an example of one thing that you're working on that you're particularly excited about.
The first project we got out of the gate is kind of a second phase of a 2-phase condo project. So we're going to try and upzone it, try to build, I don't think we'll get 100, but maybe 90 units there.
Did you guys build the first phase?
We did not.
Okay.
It was inherited, bought from the previous developer. And it was like 7 or 8 years ago. So there's been some time. Market's changed. There's no amenities on that front phase. So we're bringing all the amenities and Should be a pretty nice project, and we're just starting the front end of that, getting into the city and doing our outreach program. We've got 2 retail sites.
Okay, so before you leave that, so what happened? Why did the original developer not move to phase 2?
It's a personal thing for that, and I don't want to say anything negative about really anybody.
Yeah.
But let's just say that the condo,
his capacity or her capacity went away to be able to keep moving forward.
Yes. I think she's just way over her skis.
Yeah.
For lack of a better phrase or term.
Yeah.
But I mean, 7 years gone by, the market in Phoenix for condos, at least the market we're chasing, 80% of them are out of state.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a higher end, in and out. Maybe have their own planes, maybe they don't. Golf, good food.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of limited on some locations there, and there hasn't been a lot of that. The liability scares the hell out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But because of these guys have been building condos for 25 years or so in the States and in Canada, they're very comfortable with insuring around that or working around those parameters.
Yeah.
So average price of the condo in phase 2?
A little over $2 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're shooting for $900 a foot.
Yeah.
Somewhere $950 a foot. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you'll add all the amenities to it, and then that'll finish the project out.
Yeah, rooftop, pool, fitness, club, private dining,
dog
park down below, dog wash, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
6 stories over 1 level of parking. So
Where is it geographically?
It's in Scottsdale, close to Westworld.
Okay.
Yeah, North
Where
Scottsdale.
Barrett Jackson comes every year.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
And then we got a couple of defunct or underperforming. I don't know what the correct term
Not
is.
defunct yet. But
On the way.
Wait till we get our hands on it.
Right? Some retail centers that are, just poorly designed, number one. I don't really know what happened, but they've been sitting out there. So we're taking a look at a couple of those. It'll probably be mixed use. Probably squeeze that down, get it functioning, something marketable. And
so this is an existing asset that you're going to go in and retool and.
It's facing the wrong way.
That's our goal.
The parking is in the back of it, as opposed to the front, like most shopping centers.
Yeah, somebody thought it was a good idea. They probably went to a seminar.
Yeah,
and said, "Hey, this is working.
This is This is what the new face of retail looked like. It never works,
right?
Especially it never works. So we're looking at doing a couple of those. And again, we like those with hair on them. It keeps a lot of people away. Number one, and it's not often an apartment guy can be a white knight.
Right.
So you take a eyesore like that or something that's not performing and bring it up to speed, bring it up to market or whatever. And usually we're welcomed. Usually we're not that the process goes any smoother, but if they want you
less
there,
contentious.
If they want you there, it's helpful. So we're looking at a couple sites like that in good markets, Southeast Valley, Phoenix, and then looking at a couple apartment sites, North Scottsdale, North Phoenix, and Southeast Valley as well. West Side is pretty soft right now, so we'll just take our time getting out that way.
Yeah, and so the sites would be ground up.
Yes.
Yeah. So you develop that from start to finish.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we think our timing is right. That was you asked, maybe why it took so long for us to figure this out.
Other than we're slow. Yeah.
But we think the timing is right.
Yeah.
Things are starting to come back online. Things are starting to get absorbed. There's not this glut or this cascade of new product coming on online.
Yeah, so let's talk about the real estate market just in general and kind of y'all's view. And obviously Phoenix being a market unto its own with sort of different things going on than say Dallas Fort Worth. But like just generally, what are you seeing in the real estate market?
So the last year and a half, overbuilt. Things really slowed down. And again, specific submarkets of Phoenix are slower than others. Scottsdale in general is pretty good. The core of Scottsdale's soft. West Side is just overbuilt. A lot of single family rentals out there competing with the apartments, and just a glut out there. Probably another year of absorption in that marketplace, I guess. Southeast Valley has always been strong and still strong. Sites are hard to come by, tough barriers to entry in certain jurisdictions, but we still get a big influx of people moving in. You got a little bit of a California influence now, which is good and bad. Depends on what side of the table you sit.
We have the same issue here.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Or opportunity, depending on how you define it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because Phoenix, we're the 5th largest city in the country, I believe, still. But it's a small town. It's very car dependent. the trade pool there is actually pretty shallow. For
Really?
as big as we are.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, a lot of guys were coming in from out of state and trying to do some things and have tough relationships, man. I mean, the relationships with the trades are really, really important. And so, again, I think to Jeff's point, we should be building now. 12, 14 months on the residential, start lease up. So a year from now, we should be out of the ground with something. And, markets stabilize a little bit. New president in office depends who you ask, to stabilize a little bit. So I agree. I think timing feels really good.
Mm-hmm. And what about interest rates? Like, have people just sort of adjusted to a new normal?
I still think there's a lot of hope that rates are going to go down. So, I mean, we're still in this where cap rates and interest rates are, kind of touching each other at some point. So we're hopeful that they'll go down, but for good real estate, you can still make a pencil.
Yeah.
And, we've got some really good relationships with some bankers. So we get pretty good spread, quotes from them. Mm-hmm. Guys that we've been dealing with for, again, as Mike alluded to earlier, it's I call it the largest Fargo, North Dakota in the U.S. Everyone knows everybody.
Right.
So a bunch of my friends are all these that start off as junior bankers are now running the banks.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for me. It's easier for me.
These are all your buddies and peers that you've grown up with.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that they're giving away deals.
Yeah.
But it makes the process just easier.
Of course.
It's trust, it's performance, it's all the things that you want. Right?
And standing behind, when things got really tough in 08 and 09, it was bitter to write some of those checks. It was hard.
Yeah.
But we did it, and we integrity means more to us than anything, because I like to say you can't have integrity 90% of the time.
Right.
It's a light switch. You have it or you don't.
Yeah. Right.
And if you sign a contract, you fulfill that obligation.
That's right. So it sounds like everything's in Phoenix or the surrounding area.
The surrounding area.
You guys aren't interested in looking in Denver or Cleveland or other places at this point.
Cleveland. I would say we are interested in that. I think we need to get our act together first, for lack of a better term. Get some business going, get pipeline going, get money coming in, get our systems in order, and then I think we can take that to other marketplaces. And it is our goal to do that.
Yeah, and we looked in here for many years in Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area, Vegas, certain parts of California, but that's really tough right now.
Yeah, I think we got pretty big plans. We got to exit the first one. And the first one's always the toughest.
And it's very difficult, as I'm sure everyone knows. It's but we're kind of stick to it guys.
Right.
And so I joke and say our plan B is plan A.
Right. Yeah. There is no plan B. Right. Yeah, I get it.
And you think about the time of our lives we're starting this company too. I mean, we're not 30s.
Right.
Well, you just 80,
40,
you look
42. 42. Gray hair's good. Real estate stuff, man. It ages you.
Hey, well, I'll trade you any day. So, and you just
no, don't even bring it.
We already don't like you. But no, I mean, if you think about the drive that we have, if you think about none of us are going to retire anytime soon, or even want to. We may take longer vacations.
How old are you guys?
There, but I'm 61.
Okay.
I'm 58.
Okay. Yeah, we're all the same age. So 58.
Now I really don't.
Now, check, please.
But again, it's DNA is not the right word, but it's our mindset, it's our driving. That's what really brought us together.
Yeah.
Right. We all have that same mentality and
we're all relatively the same age. Dave is 59.
Yep.
He kind of reminds me of you a little bit, with a little bit more gray, but he's just got a full head of hair.
Yeah.
Lots of energy. Elliot is in mid 60s, I'd say, but same thing. He's just he's energizer bunny. He never stops.
Right.
And Adrian's he's probably 42.
He's the young.
He's the young one. Yeah. That's good. All right. So like if we fast forward 10 years. And we're sitting here in 10 years and we're now kind of talking about the business. What's it look like?
I'd say that we're going to be, I would like to see us be more regional. I don't think national is necessarily, I'd like to say that anything that we can go to on a 2.5 hour flight is kind of the right, if it feels right.
Right.
Hopefully my son and or my daughter, my son is going to school right now. He's actually just first semester in college, and he wants to take real estate and finance like his old man did.
Yeah.
But he did tell his mother, he goes, I just want to do it, but be more successful.
But be better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot, son.
Yeah, he's hyper competitor. So
That's good. Where's he in school?
San Diego.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, regional, 2.5 hour plane flight.
Yeah.
How many people? How many projects in a year?
I think our goal for
Or how do you define? What are the metrics that you would define the business by?
well, obviously it's the culture. You know, we want the culture to be strong and solid. We don't want to build something just for us.
Right.
That's not our goal. None of our goals. We want to build it for the next generation, whether that's our children or people that we bring in and, you know, cultivate and help them grow into that. We'd like, you know, so it's important for us to make sure that we're paying it forward as much as possible. And so, you know, that to me defines success as longevity, not necessarily the bottom line. That's important,
Sure.
but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is, you know, putting something together that's pretty special for that next generation.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other aspect of that, I mean, most of the companies we've been affiliated with have been merchant build mentality, kind of build and sell. And I think what we want to do more is if we build two, let's hold one, sell one.
Yeah.
If we build four, maybe it's two, maybe it depends on the market, whatever.
Sure.
So at the end of 10 years, we've got 10 properties.
Right.
If it's retail, multifamily, whatever it is, we have that.
Some assets.
Yeah. You know, I'll speak for myself. I mean, I've tried to do that with several other companies, and they all say, "Yeah, okay, it sounds great."
Sounds great,
but it never happens. You
Right.
know. And again, different mentality. Again, why we've kind of drawn to each other because we all want to do that. But listen, I'd like to think we've gotten not only every asset class out there, but I think even from a financial side. I mean, there's an opportunity that came up the other day as possibly land banking for another company. I've never thought about that. The way it's set up and the way we will be structured, we could probably do that. So do all the horizontal, buy the land, do all the horizontals to them, and then flip them as lots get built.
Right.
And like I said, we've never done it. We know others do. It can be done. And I think we're structured in such a way that we have that flexibility.
That's great.
So
That's actually what we did at my first company.
Okay.
One of the things was we were doing paper lots and then rolling options with home builders.
Yeah.
So made a lot of sense, made a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, but not everybody's, you know, it's a tough business to be in the land business.
Yeah. Yeah.
we want to make sure it's accretive to our overall business. All right. We're not going to go off on at least not in the near future, go off on a wild
tangent.
hair,
Yeah.
just spend time, money, and effort, and nothing else happens. So it's got to kind of build upon itself. And again, I think the entrepreneurial side and the opportunistic side is will keep us thinking a little bit and keep us looking at opportunities. And I don't know, maybe keep us young. I don't know. It's probably too late for that.
I think it does. I mean, I think it does.
yeah.
So let's talk about that for a second. So, you know, in 10 years, you'll be 69 and you'll be 71. And are your parents still alive?
Yes.
Mine are not.
You're not?
I've got 6 parents, if you will.
How long did your parents work?
How's that math work?
Yeah.
Well,
How long?
my wife has her dad and her mom are still alive.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been with Brantley for 31 years. So
Yeah.
it's like you know, they're part of we're all family.
Of course.
And then my mother and my stepfather live in Cleveland still.
Okay.
They've been retired probably 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and then my dad and my stepmother still live in Southern California. So.
Okay. So your stepfather retired. Your dad, did he retire?
Yeah.
At some point?
Yeah.
Your dad?
Yeah, he retired as well.
So
Yeah.
how do you guys think about retirement?
You know, it's funny that you say that because I was going to try to take some time off in between my last, you know, when I was with Bell and forming this. It was a failed, miserable mess.
Why is that?
Well, let's put it this way. I was warned by Brantley. She said, if you want to see another 10 years or 15 years, you need to get the hell out of the house.
Yeah.
Because I was just chasing her around, you know, just bored.
Right.
And so I just, you know, I'm not a huge golfer anymore.
Yeah.
I used to, I was pretty active in martial arts growing up. I've done it for 50 something years. And, it just, as you get older, you can't do. Those who can't do teach, right?
Right.
So I was trying to do that for a little bit, and it's just not.
Didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right. So
Yeah.
the bug was still there. So I don't see myself necessarily wanting to retire.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to end up getting wheeled out
Yeah.
in my desk chair by other people and dumping me down the stairs. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like I said, this is fun for us, right? And
Right.
real estate's challenging, but so you got to love it.
Yeah.
Just like other businesses.
That's
I'm
right.
sure not a whole lot different than yours, to be honest with you.
That's right.
Got good days and bad days, so you better enjoy it. And like I said, we got to have fun. And I don't see retirement necessarily. Like I said, maybe longer vacations here and there. But I think you always keep your finger on the pulse. And the people I know that are still mentally with it and physically with it, they keep moving, they keep doing things. So I don't know what the incentive is to sit down and retire.
Right.
So no one's convinced me that.
Yep. Well, we talk a lot about that on the podcast, just because a lot of times a business owner has his business, and then they may go sell it and exit, and then what, right? Like, I took last week off because it was the last week of, before all my kids went back to school, and I got one in law school, one in undergrad, and one still in high school. And so I was like, okay, I'll take the week off and just kind of be present. And you do get a little stir crazy even just after a couple of days, because you're like, okay, I've worked out, I've picked up the house, I've done all the little chores that need to be done, and everybody's running around, and so now what, and so you could see if that was 365 days a year, it'd get hard.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Well, I mean, it's you work all those years, right? And it kind of gets a habit.
Yeah.
Muscle memory. I don't know. Again, I don't know what the right words are.
Yeah.
But, it's hard to change.
Well, and I do think too, like a partnership of 5, obviously, like you've got a lot of coverage, right? So somebody can take a vacation.
for sure.
And,
Absolutely.
I mean, like a legit vacation where you can unplug.
Yeah.
Yes.
That can happen, and then as you build the business over time, creating flexibility within the business to be able to take an extended vacation or.
And the goal is to always bring in people that are smarter than you, and empower them to do what they do best.
Yeah.
And then stay out of their way and answer questions. I like to say, nobody works for each other; they work with us.
Right.
And the titles only give us the right to say no every once in a while.
Right. Right.
So
Makes sense.
just stay out of the way.
Again, we build a team up, build a staff up. I mean, you're always kind of trying to replace you, right? Yeah. At some point in time, you're moving on.
Yeah.
And
whether you like it or not.
Correct.
That's correct.
Correct. So if that happens, it's nice to know that nothing really changes.
That's right.
Yeah. Nothing really changes. So
That's right.
And again, we've in our years here, we've met a lot of great people, a lot of great developers, a lot of great real estate folks, and we're just going to try and capture as many as we can
Awesome.
as time goes on. Yeah.
Well, Jeff, Mike, thank you guys. Appreciate you being here.
No, we
Appreciate. We're honored to be here.
Yeah, honored and humbled, quite frankly.
Well, it's nice to have you, and it's nice to hear your story. And we'll check back in a few years and see how it's going.
Yeah,
No,
we
we
look
love
forward to
that.
that. We look forward to that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for joining us on Decision Points.